presented by Seat77.com. As always, Dave Dabbah is coming to you live from the Super Plus Seat 77 broadcast studio in the heart of Silicon Valley. Now, Dave Dabbah.
Hey, North America, I am Dave Dabbah, and this is the Dave Dabbah Big Show for a Friday. Oh my gosh, Producer Buck, super excited about today's show. It is a great show. We're going to have some fun on today's show. We've got Tom Coughlin, who is super mad at the New York Football Giants. We have the most underpaid quarterback in the National Football League, and get this, it's a Buffalo Bill. We've got a cryptic tweet from LeBron James. And are the Foo Fighters really breaking up? All of that and more on today's super big show. I'm telling you, Producer Buck, today's show it's like a Mona Lisa. It's going to be a flat out masterpiece of a show. Hey, listen, North America, thank you for all of your support. This is week number 4. We are wrapping up week number 4 of the Dave Dabbah Big Show. Hey, look, listenership is way up. Our iTunes channel is blowing up. Lots of support for the show on Twitter as well as Facebook. So thank you, North America, for all of your support. Okay, so we are going to move into the actual meat of the show, if you will. And we thought, well, should we start with the Foo Fighters story, or should we talk about the cryptic tweet that LeBron James has, or do we really want to start with Tom Coughlin, the old ball coach, Tom Coughlin, the former head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who led the New York Football Giants to not one, but 2 Super Bowl championships, who was allegedly asked to retire from the New York Football Giants. A great quote. He went on an interview after he was allegedly asked to retire. So, look, let's face it. Tom Coughlin was fired by the New York Giants, and he was bitter. So he interviewed with the San Francisco 49ers, and he also did an extensive interview with an arch rival, arch enemy of the New York Football Giants. That's right, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, in Bleacher Report yesterday, there's a great article that talks about it. This is a quote from that article. The interview was a disaster. Coughlin acted like a 20-year-old whose girlfriend had dumped him, and he was trying to make her jealous by dating her number one enemy on the rebound. This fantastic quote, right? Well, the story gets even better. Tom Coughlin then shows up on the Jay Moore show. And okay, so everybody knows Jay Moore is actually a really funny stand-up comedian. He also has a sports radio show on Fox Sports Radio. Producer Buck, please, you guys got to listen to this. This is fantastic. Go and listen. Actually, when you're listening to this, listen how Jay Moore scrambles. Go and play the audio now.
My relationship with Mr. Mara is the same it's always been. Very respectful, very professional, very proud to be a Giant all these years. And as I said, 15 years. And I've been very fortunate to be a member of 3 Super Bowl World Championship teams. So championship every 5 years is not too shabby. By the way, I did not snub Mr. Mara, if that's what you're insinuating.
No, I don't know.
That's the way I leave the press conferences. Why should I hang around to answer one more less than glamorous question?
Coach, I'm not going to spin anything. I just saw with my eyes what I saw, and that's what everybody thinks. So I'm glad that this came up because you can clarify it. But Mr. Mara, he stuck his hand out to shake your hand as you walked past him, and you walked past him. So the media natural. Look, I'm a comic with a radio show. I don't want to lump myself in with these balloon heads that talk sports all day. I just watched you walk past the guy, and I went, "Ooh, bad blood." But you're saying no,
really.
Well, then
not
that's
really.
great.
Hey, was I? Do I agree with the move? Of course not. I don't. It hurts. It hurts. Former is not a good word. I don't like the word, but nevertheless, that's the way it is.
I know, right? How fantastic is that? I mean, Jay Moore was about to lose Tom Coughlin. I swear, Tom Coughlin, you could hear it. He was like seconds away, literally seconds away from hanging up on Jay Moore. It got so bad during that interview that Jay Moore actually had to play the "I'm not a sportscaster" I'm not one of these sportscasters. I'm really just a stand-up comedian doing a sports radio show, Tom. You had to go to that card. It was fantastic. Hey, you send us your emails. Tell us what you think. info@seed77.com. Okay, moving on. The most underpaid QB in the National Football League today. Who is it? We're going to tell you it is a Buffalo Bill. Producer Buck, go and play that Buffalo Bill song.
Now Jack Kemp brought home 2 championship years. Ferguson and Smervis racked up Buffalo prayers. And Jim Kelly, well, he brought us all to our feet. We had Thurman and Talley and Andre Reed. Bruce Smith in the back making quarterbacks bleed. Frank staged the comeback that shocked the whole league. And I still believe our New York snow is white.
How great is that? My favorite part of that Buffalo Bill song, right, is that it snows white. I guess it only snows white in Buffalo. Is that what that song means? So that was fantastic. That's my favorite. That's my new favorite football song that we've played on this show. I'm sure we'll find some others, but anyway. So the question is, how much does Tyrod Taylor make? And for this coming season, he's scheduled to make $2 million a year. His numbers, believe it or not, are very comparable with Russell Wilson. He basically throws for about 220 yards a game, and he rushes for around 50 yards a game. His TD to interception ratio is actually very low. He does a lot of the right things. I find that he's actually really fun to watch play. He's a little conservative at times, but I think when you play outdoors in Buffalo in November and December, that's what you have to be. You have to be conservative because you can't throw the ball as well as you can inside a dome. So Tyrod Taylor, how much is he really worth? And according to Sports Track, he is worth 19. That's right. Everybody sit down. Everybody pull over and sit down. He is worth 19. That's right, $19.4 million a year. That is what the website Sports Track has him listed at. I think that would be fantastic for Tyrod Taylor if he could find a way to convince the Buffalo Bills to pay him $19 million a year. Look, I think Buffalo should go ahead and lock him up if they can. Find a way to get him a contract. I would get him a contract, maybe not at $19 million a year, but I would go to that Colin Kaepernick, 12 to 13 million for the first year with incentives and bonuses that are going to get him close to 15 or $16 million a year. I could definitely see Buffalo saying we can't afford 19, but I think if you want to play and be competitive in the National Football League, you have to do this. Hey, I don't know if everybody saw this, but it turns out Tony Romo is going under the knife yet again. And yesterday on the big podcast, as you know, we did our first NFL mock draft post-combine report. And we talked about the Dallas Cowboys picking at number 4. And we said, look, we think that the Cowboys really should go out and take a quarterback if they have the opportunity at number 4. And this is yet another example of an NFL team needing a quality backup quarterback. And I think the Cowboys, the more I thought about this last night, and the more I thought about it this morning after the news broke that Tony was actually going to have yet another surgery, how can the Cowboys not draft a quarterback at 4 North America? That is the question I want to hear from you. Escondido. Info at seed77.com. Okay, so moving on. LeBron James is sending out cryptic tweets yet again. Here's what LeBron said in his last tweet. This came out a couple days ago. And keep in mind, LeBron, after he sent this tweet out, hopped on a plane and flew to Miami. it's okay to know you've made a mistake, because we all do at times. Just be ready to live with whatever that comes with and be with. So if ever that was a shot at, I think, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, that is it. Because right after he sent that tweet, he hopped on a plane, had a couple days off, and he went to Miami and he hung out with his good friend D Wade. Look, I don't think there's anything wrong with him taking a couple days off and going out to hang out in Miami. But when you send out a tweet like that and then you hop on a plane, you're sending a message. And I guarantee the city of Cleveland right now is really starting to worry. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when LeBron James at the end of the season says, screw you, Cleveland. I'm out of here. I'm going back to Miami. How fantastic would that be? Okay. So we've got just a couple other quick stories for you today on the Dave Dabbah Big Show. I can tell you that next week we have several interviews. We've got a Major League Baseball insider interview. We have a interview with an executive producer from a football movie, which we'll be doing later in the week. And there's a couple other things that I know producer Buck is scrambling to get for the Dave Dabbah Big Show. We're going to finish today's show off in a little bit with a fantastic Foo Fighters story. I did see this note yesterday, and I thought I'd read this just on the air real quick. ABC has announced 15 shows that it's actually going to pick up and will be on the big television schedule for this coming fall. We went ahead and we took a look at some of those, and they're the usual suspects. It's the Grey's Anatomies, it's the Scandals, it's How to Get Away with Murder, of course, Dancing with the Stars, or DWTS, as people in the know would say. The Bachelor, Shark Tank, and my wife will be super excited about this. Once Upon a Time will be back again in the fall. Their 100th episode is actually is coming up this week for Once Upon a Time. Look, I saw, I don't know, maybe 15 episodes of that. And I'm telling you, Producer Bug, anything goes on that show. Anything they want to do, they can do on that show. By the way, no word yet on The Hangover's Dr. Ken, whether or not that show is going to be renewed or if it should even be renewed. All right, this just a couple other quick notes from around the National Basketball Association from last night. Of course, the sequel did not turn into a sequel last night as the Golden State Warriors flat out routed the Thunder and beat them badly last night. The Warriors have moved to 55-5 on the season, and I should note that was their 44th straight home win during the regular season. They have tied the 95-96 Chicago Bulls with that record. And one other interesting story that I saw in the NBA over the last couple days. I don't know if you remember this, but when the Lakers had a chance to draft high this past year, and I think they're going to have a chance to draft high yet again, and it just kills me because as a lifetime Laker fan, look, I'm a Timberwolf fan first, a Laker fan second, but I was a Laker fan before I was a T-Wolf fan because the T-Wolves didn't exist. And so I grew up with the Lakers, and just watching this organization, and we talked a little bit about this yesterday, just watching this organization do so poorly on the court is so tough for me. Look, the Clippers, they've put together a great franchise with a great team. They do all sorts of wacky things. That's what makes the Clippers, Chuck the Condor, and all this stuff. And still in Los Angeles, the ratings for the Lakers, who've only won like 12 games, are like 2 or 3 times as high as that of Ralph Lawler's Los Angeles Clippers. So they had the chance, to pick high. And they ended up picking D'Angelo Russell, who claims he's 6'5". Look, I claim I'm 6 foot. And every time I'm at the Home Depot and the kids put me up onto the measuring thing, let's just say it doesn't necessarily come out what I claim to be. That being said, 21.8 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds per game for the last 6 games. Basically, what has happened is Byron Scott has shafted this kid, and it was really hard for me to watch early in the season. I was like, let the kid play, just give him some experience, and I think he really set him back about a year. And so the Los Angeles Lakers front office, I guess, finally jumped in and has Byron Scott playing this kid, and this kid is the real deal. I'm telling you, he is the real deal. D'Angelo Russell, I would not have said this 2 months ago, but he is the real deal. Almost 22 points a game, 5 assists, and nearly 4 rebounds. He's not really a true point guard, but he certainly can do enough to lead a team. And I'd like to see the Los Angeles Lakers just let this kid play him 35 to 40 minutes a game. I'm telling you, get him some experience, Byron. Okay. And for our final story of the day, are the Foo Fighters actually breaking up? Producer Buck, do you have the audio from the 4 members of the band minus Dave Grohl? Go ahead and play that now.
Yeah, is everybody on now?
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up?
Okay, so what the fuck?
It's gone fucking to Hollywood.
First he does the Grammy thing, and then he goes on the Oscars without us.
Ooh, look at me. I'm the big guy out front with the guitar. Yeah, fuck him.
Whatever, Dave. I mean, I got ideas too, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
Yeah, I'm thinking David Coverdale.
Let's make Foo Fighters great again.
We gotta get together.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, let's fucking meet. Let's do it. Let's fucking meet.
Okay.
How great is that? Seriously. I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. You've got the 4 members of the band upset because they heard Dave Grohl was thinking about leaving the band. Hey, Producer Buck, play the Dave Grohl clip. This is post Academy Awards. Go ahead and play that now.
I mean, seeing as how that Academy Awards thing went so well, I got to thinking that maybe it's time, you know? Maybe it's time for me to do my own thing.
You killed it at the Academy Awards. You mesmerized the whole room. And I think with the momentum from that right now is your chance to shine. You can take that momentum and totally do your own thing.
You think so?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, there was something about just like being on stage by myself. You know, it was like it was me.
So are the Foo Fighters really planning on breaking up? Well, it turns out they put together this excellent video, which is actually on Twitter and all of their social media channels, because Foo Fighters actually have more social media channels than the Dave Dabbah Big Show does. But so they put together this spoof video, and it's about the band actually breaking up, and so that's what the audio from all of that is from, and it's fantastic. And then at the end of the video, it says, "For the millionth time, we're not breaking up, and nobody's going fucking solo." So that's how the Foo Fighters actually addressed their alleged breakup that has been flying around the rumor mills for the past couple months. Okay, so send us your emails, North America. Tell us what you want us to talk about next week on the Dave Dabbah Big Show. info@seat77.com. Tune in radio. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. And, of course, you can subscribe to the big channel on iTunes. So what did we learn from today's show? Tom Coughlin is extraordinarily bitter. LeBron James is purposely sending out cryptic text because he probably regrets leaving Miami and is seriously considering returning. And Tyrod Taylor is worth at least $14 to $16 million a year. Oh, and Byron Scott is a schmuck for not playing D'Angelo Russell more. All right, so for the silent one, I am Dave Dabbah, reminding you that not everyone can be a champion, but everyone can act like one can. And good luck, North America.